And I also carelessly assumed most people already knew what the lawsuit was about anyway, because I had said it in one of my videos.
I said it in one of my videos, dude. You said it in a 1.5 minute snippet at the end of a 25-minute video. Why would you assume everyone knows what it's about? You never made a dedicated video and pointed to that.
If I truly understood the impact my actions would later have on people, I would have been much more careful. Obviously, in
No,
hindsight,
I think it's more he was cocky and assumed he was going to win, so he didn't need to worry about any of that. He lost, so now he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I should have been more forthcoming and given more information to you guys. I feel like, ironically, you know how they say like losing can build character? I feel like this is one of those situations where I almost feel like hopefully Karl gets humbled by this, even though I disagree with how harsh the court was with him. I still feel like he needs to be a little bit humbled by this because of the way he was going about everything, the hardcore ego trip that he was on. Hopefully this brings him back down to earth, but I don't know. With some people, it's just they just are who they are.
it may have been better to not talk about the lawsuit at all, but I'm not sure if that was ever going to happen. It's just not in my nature, and this was the biggest thing impacting my life and this channel for multiple years, so of course I felt compelled to talk about it. I should have just found a way to be more transparent if I were to discuss it, and I can understand fully if you are disappointed in my actions, especially if you donated to the GoFundMe. If you weren't really following the trial closely and don't have much information about what happened during it, and all you're currently reading is news about the judgment or drama videos saying that I lied about everything, I'd say
Represent. Make sure to like and subscribe. But hold on. Let's pause this for a second, though. Let's pause this because here's the thing, Karl. Here's the thing. This is what you were doing to Billy for 4+ years, dude. I make one video saying, "Hey, I let me pull the Karl here. Let me pull the Karl. I never lied in my video. I never lied. Everything I said was talking about what the judge's decision and what the judge said factually based off of the evidence that was provided there. Everything I said in that video, as far as I understand, was truthful. So salty, Karl? Like Lindsay I says, Smash AT, hello, you absolute smashers. Oh my God. Like you just show a thumbnail and cry about me. Like, watch the video. Oh, by the way, after this video, people started coming to that video and liking the video. They're like, oh, shit. Like, I'm getting a lot of positive comments on that video. I don't know if Karl realizes, but by complaining and crying about me, people are frustrated at Karl, and he sends them over to me, and they're like, oh, this guy's based. Let me subscribe to him. Come on, man.
suggest remaining skeptical for the time being. I will
Hold on,
wait
let's see
until
what he says
all you're
completely.
currently reading is news about the judgment or drama videos saying that I lied about everything. I'd suggest remaining skeptical for the time being.
I mean, literally, this is literally what Karl does in his videos.
Currently reading is news about the judgment or drama video.
This is literally a thumbnail from Karl Jobst style. Like, go look at his channel thumbnails. He has to understand the game. Come on, Karl. Come on, man. What is this?
Videos saying that I lied about everything. I'd suggest remaining skeptical for the time being. I will wait until the dust settles before discussing what happened during trial in more detail, but at some point I definitely will.
Javier says sue Karl for defamation. Oh, that's amazing. that that is one of the funniest things I've ever read.
And hopefully at that point, you will have a better understanding about why I was so confident I would win. And it's also possible that you might even agree that this judgment is simply crazy once you have all of the details. I will say,
Which again, I go back to, I am on Karl's side when it comes to how insane the judgment was. I'm with him on that. Like, dude, as much as I feel like you were disingenuous and not fully transparent with everything with your audience and how I genuinely feel like you purposefully misled people based off of the information that I see and what the judge said the court case was about. With that all being said, I still think that the judgment was insane against you. I do. Like, both things can be true.
one thing, though, the judge found Billy Mitchell to be a credible witness and essentially accepted his full oral testimony as fact, despite our many attempts
Again, Australian court system. Yikes.
to show that Billy is a liar. For example, we have Billy on video in 2023 during his Twin Galaxies deposition saying that the effect I've had on him is minimal.
Did the actions that Karl Jobst and David Race and Jeremy Young and Jeff Harris take also cause you emotional distress?
That is minimal compared to this,
Why?
because this is where it all began.
However, during my trial, he claimed the exact opposite. And
See, again, when I hear that and I look at the judgment, I can't help but think that they were making an example of Karl. Like, this is a lawsuit that I would say should get thrown out. This is one of those, both parties are wrong. We're not going to try to decide in favor of one or the other. Like, both of you are, it's a complete shit show. Like, what are we doing here? But hey, these are just my thoughts.
said that I basically ruined his life. And the judge completely disregarded his previous statements and accepted what he said at my trial at face value. And this is just one example of many times that this happened. And if you've watched any of my videos on Billy Mitchell in the past, especially those in regards to his deposition, you will start to realize that this judgment might not be based on truthful evidence. But again, I won't.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm still stuck on, hold on. I need more wine. I'm still stuck on, why is it always me, by the way? What is it with me? I saw tens, if not hundreds, of videos come out about the fallout from this court case with some wild headlines and wild thumbnails. Why, of all of those, did he pick me? That's just, why? Why me, Karl? Why me? It's interesting. It's always me.
Won't go into much detail until the very end. There are so many lies being spread right now that it's insane. I
think Keegan nailed it right there. Big enough to be noticed, small enough to pick on. Yep. That's
understand people making fun of me because I lost and because of how cocky I was, and I can understand if people are upset because I wasn't transparent enough and they had the wrong idea about the lawsuit. And I can appreciate people are angry because I lost. I made a ton of mistakes, and I am a great example of what not to do when you're being sued. And ultimately, I am the one that will also need to pay the biggest price. In certain areas, I'm just an idiot, and I have a habit of saying things that rub people the wrong way. Of course, if I could go back and do things differently, I would. But some other things people are saying about me are just crazy and appear to me to be completely in bad faith. Like, people are spreading this screenshot long after the trial had finished and using it to try and claim that I used AI in my defense or as part of my strategy, when all this is me and some friends having some fun and seeing what AI would say.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that people have shared with me from Karl's Discord, some things that he's said. I didn't see the one about the suing or going after or making videos on Billy's kid or whatever. I didn't see any of that, but I saw some of the other ones.
Many people are taking advantage of the worst experience of my life to go after me for things that are just outrageous. And it sucks because on one hand, I want to defend myself, but on the other hand, I totally agree that I made a lot of mistakes. I said things publicly I shouldn't have said that made me look bad. So I do deserve to be called out for those things. But other things are just...
But again, I will be defending Karl till the end of time when it comes to people should have a right to be able to say what's on their mind about stuff Like I always come back to, what are we doing? We're living in a world where you can't just say things. It's like, oh, I need to be careful. I can't say this. I can't say that, or this or that, the other thing, because I could offend someone or hurt someone or somehow defame them. It's like, bro, grow the fuck up, man. What is with everyone? You can't even talk anymore. Everyone wants to sue everyone into the ground so nobody can even talk. It's wild.
Flat out wrong or just complete lies. And if I spend too much time debunking lies, it will come across as if I think I bear no responsibility for what happened, which is not the case. So I won't. I'll just say that I hope reasonable people can understand that out of context screenshots may not be indicative of what is really going on or how I really feel. This experience has been extremely painful. However, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's been a huge wake-up call, and there are many lessons for me to learn. So assuming I do adequate self-reflection and I grow from this, I think it will ultimately be good for this channel. I'm more motivated than ever to move on and focus on producing good content and keeping myself out of trouble. So if you never really cared about this Billy Mitchell stuff and just want to watch some entertaining YouTube videos on cheating and speedrunning, this will be great news for you. Thank you so much to everyone who has supported me for the past few years. I can assure you that you have made this process much easier than it would have been, not only for me, but for my family as well. And I'm truly sorry to everyone I let down by not handling this as well as I could have. Thanks for watching, you legends. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I do hope that I get to see you in the next video.
Before I even give my final takes on this, I want to throw out the question to you guys. How do you feel about Karl moving forward? Are you guys still watch him moving forward, or is this situation completely turned you off from him? As for me, I know a bit more about Karl than the average person, but at the same time, I don't know a ton about him. I feel like most people just know surface level with Karl. Karl is an excellent YouTuber. He makes excellent content, very engaging and interesting. And he's someone that, as a content creator, I would recommend people to watch, to look up to on how to make a interesting, well-edited and engaging video. He does a really good job with that. At the same time, I look at him as someone who lets his ego get in the way of him. He sometimes thinks he's more important than everyone else, and that can trip him up. This situation, I'd like to think, will make him take a gigantic step back, reevaluate how he approaches things, and be a lot more humbled. But at the same time, I look at the court ruling, and I'm like, it's an insane ruling. And I keep going back to both things can be true. Where Karl was on a ego trip and very aggressive with pushing forward. But at the same time, like, I feel like he ultimately was his own undoing. And I'm very curious about the follow-up to this, if he is going to be pursuing an appeal with it and what happens with that. But it was an insane amount of money. That's a, like, think about that for a second. We're talking, what is it, was it near $500,000 USD after all is said and done, after court fees and everything? Or was it like 300,000? It's $500,000 dues, and it's like 300,000 USD, something like that, which is a disgusting amount of money for a statement on a video. Like, what are we doing here? What do we do? That's insane. If that's going to be the precedent for that kind of thing, you're going to silence every YouTuber and bankrupt anybody that opens their mouth. You can't live in a world like that. It's insane. So as much as I want to, like I said, as much as I want to hammer Karl for the approach he took, I can't back the decisions by the court. That was wild. That was wild. Again, not to sound like both parties are wrong. I don't want to be that guy, because I hate when people do that. But this is one of those legal situations where you look at all the information and you're like, yeah, no, we're not even going to hear this case. Just throw it out. Like, this is, what are we doing here? Unless there's an agenda to be pushed that can be furthered by having a verdict in this case, which is unfortunately where I think Karl found himself. Peter Parker for the 5-bagger. I like how Karl tried to throw you under the bus by calling your lies and a drama video. Yep. I think that was interesting. That was interesting. Where he's like, hey guys, listen to me, not this guy. like, bro, what do I have to do with your wrongdoings here? Like, damn, trying to drag Smash JT into this shit. I mean, I will say it is an honor to be linked with AVGN, Moist Critical, Billy Mitchell, all in the same video. I am appearing in that one with them. I'm like, damn, look at this. Look at me. Look at me. Like his friend Muda. Exactly. Oh, man. Yeah, I wonder how they're feeling about the whole Gerard situation right now.
I am sorry.
Do you think Karl feels like he's going to be accountable moving forward?
Content creators and influencers should be held accountable when faced with serious allegations.
Isn't life curious? Draco says we have no proof Smash cheated. ... Yet.